Twilight Sparkle, Ace Attorney, The Royal Turnabout. Written by AnimeGX43. Chapter 12. Day 3. Pre-trial. Royal Cyclops. October 11th, 9:22 a.m. Canterlot District Court. Defendant Lobby. The day finally came. The trial that would decide Rarity's fate. Twilight had found some evidence the day before, but found nothing that made it clear that Rarity was innocent. She arrived at the courthouse early. It was an important day, and she didn't want any excuse to be late.
Oh, so much evidence, yet I don't know which is still needed anymore.
When in doubt, keep it all. You're very organized anyway. As Twilight and Spike prepared for the trial, they saw that another pony had arrived fairly early. Chief Commissioner Star Cestus was seen walking around the courthouse, who looked almost as worried as Twilight.
Commissioner Cestus!
Hey, Princess Twilight! Wait, am I late for the trial?
No, we're just a bit early. I had a hard time sleeping last night and could barely rest. I just had too much to worry about.
I can't really blame you. We never were able to find that scrying crystal.
Yep. This is going to be a long day.
Then Twilight turned her attention to a basket Cestus had with him, which contained some gems.
Wait, then what's that you got there?
Huh? Oh, I remember! I promised your little dragon friend I'd bring him something since he couldn't eat important evidence.
Cestus answered, referring to the scrying crystal they found.
Oh, great! I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast!
Spike said as he walked to the basket, but he lost his smile after looking in the basket.
Aw, they're only cheap quartz. That's disappointing.
Spike, he's giving you a gift. Don't be rude. Especially when it's a gift from some pony who can only afford cheap quartz crystals.
All right. I'm sorry, sir. I'll gladly accept your gift.
You're a good kid. Enjoy.
As Spike grabbed the basket and went to a nearby bench to eat, Twilight continued to talk with Cestus privately in regards to the trial. Due to the lack of decisive evidence, both were at wits' ends.
So, did you hear more about this witness Discord is going to be bringing in?
All he would tell me is that she's some pony from Ponyville. I can hardly talk to him because he's been spending the day yesterday getting her ready to take the stand. We may be in trouble, pal.
Sounds like Discord is really confident with his case. Maybe too confident,
Twilight thought, hoping she could find an advantage.
Ponyville, huh? That's where all my friends are. I hope they aren't worried about me and Rarity being gone.
We've all been worried.
Well, sorry about that. Pinkie Pie!
Twilight flew up to the roof in shock at the pink pony's appearance, falling back to the ground after hitting the roof. After calming down, Twilight realized that it was her friend, Pinkie Pie, and was actually very happy to see one of her friends who wasn't behind bars.
Pinkie!
Twilight said as she hugged Pinkie.
What are you doing here? How's the others doing? I'm sorry for not saying anything before I left.
See Rarity's trial, but I guess I came early. They're here in Camelot too, and I'll be watching the trial. It's okay, because we still love you.
I should feel bad for not telling my friends where I was going, but it's just too nice to finally see one of them.
As Twilight was happy to see her friend, Cestus had a very surprised look on his face as he was looking at Pinkie Pie.
I'm sorry, but you're friends with Pinkamena Diane Pie?
Ooh, I remember you. It's great to see you again. Sorry I couldn't get a party ready when I met you and your friends those times before.
Whoa! You two know each other? How?
Sorry, Twilight. He made me promise not to say anything.
Cestus was silent after Pinkie made it clear they couldn't say anything. Curious to see how deep their secret was, Twilight began to channel her lie-detecting spell on Cestus, causing darkness and chains to surround him, causing a total of 5 psyche locks to appear in front of him.
Yeah, I really don't have time to break these locks. Although, speaking of psyche locks,
Twilight thought as she canceled her spell.
Princess Celestia is supposed to watch these trials too, isn't she? Have either of you seen her?
Actually, she has her own special room to watch the trial upstairs. Not sure if she's here or not, but it's where she'll be.
Good. Pinky, would you do me a favor and watch Spike for me? I need to talk to Celestia before the trial starts. And, tell the others I'm sorry for not telling them about what's happened.
Okie dokie Loki, and make sure you win! I've got a party cannon full of confetti that I want to launch after you do!
Shaking her head, yet smiling at Pinky's silliness, Twilight left the group to see if she could find Celestia before the trial got ready. She had very little time left and hoped to have a question answered before she had to defend Rarity.
By the way, how did you know about what was happening here?
Oh, that's actually a good story. You see, I was busy baking cake with ground meat as I usually do. One of my marzipan cakes, and it's really cool and frosting, and we had multiple layers again. I couldn't really remember what the recipe was, which is kind of strange because I remember every single recipe in the cakes. But anyway, I had my mind so caught up in poor Rarity. I heard about it from the cakes, actually. It was so terrible.
October 11th, 9:40 a.m. Canterlot District Court, Celestia's private seat. After a short search, Twilight found the room where Celestia would watch the trial, which had a bird's-eye view of the courtroom. It was very high up, but she could still see where the judge, defense, and prosecutor would stand. The only thing she couldn't see was the princess. All she was able to do was wait and hope Celestia would show.
There's so little time left. I guess I'll give her another 5 minutes before I leave.
Excuse me, but this is a private room.
After turning to the door, Twilight finally got a break and saw that Princess Celestia, as well as the royal guard, Giant Hand, had arrived. While Giant Hand was annoyed at first when he saw Pony in Celestia's private room, he quickly backed off after seeing Celestia herself being happy to see Twilight.
Twilight Sparkle, what a pleasant surprise. Captain, could you please leave us alone for a few minutes?
Yes, Your Highness.
Giant Hand said, bowing to both princesses before he left.
He's clearly more loyal to Celestia than Prince Blueblood.
Now, Twilight, tell me what brings you here. You should be getting ready for the trial.
As a matter of fact, I want to ask you a question that you didn't answer yesterday,
Twilight said, as she began channeling her spell.
Why is it that you made Prince Blueblood a member of the Canterlot Council?
Just as the day before, Twilight's question triggered the darkness and chains to appear around Celestia, causing 4 psyche locks to appear on the chains. Secret. Why Blueblood?
This again? It's because he's my nephew. I know him well. Not only that, but I know that even other ponies respect him as an important stallion.
I have to disagree. In fact, ponies have a good reason to not like him. Take that!
As Twilight took out a list of names, Celestia gave her an unhappy glare.
Twilight Sparkle, it's not like you to raise your voice like that at me.
Sorry. It's actually something I've been doing a lot lately. But I still argue that Prince Blueblood isn't very popular. He abused his power to force ponies at the Gilded Horseshoe to lesser rooms for his own comfort. Even then, he couldn't get the best room, so his influence over others has some very obvious limits.
Twilight brought up a very valid point, making Celestia rethink her argument. Unfortunately for Twilight, though, she didn't make any psyche locks break. Actually, you're right. Prince Blueblood isn't as respected as me, Luna, or even you. Suffice to say, he's a prince and every pony in Canterlot looks up to him and are loyal.
Must not laugh. Must not.
While Twilight resisted, she couldn't help but laugh at what Celestia said. Celestia wasn't pleased, but Twilight couldn't stop.
I'm sorry, Princess Celestia, but I can name 2 ponies off the bat who would disagree with you.
Then, from outside of the room, Giant Hand's voice was heard.
Actually, while I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but now that you mention it...
In response, Celestia used her magic to quickly open and close the door, causing a thud to be made as the door hit the guard. While a little mean-spirited, Celestia had a playful smile when she did it.
That's right. The captain of the Royal Guard himself isn't loyal to the prince at all. Part of the reason the whole crime happened at all is because of it. In fact, I remember him saying that none of your guards are that loyal to Blueblood.
Yes, I've actually made it so those who work for my nephew get paid better.
After making her confession, one of the 4 psyche locks shattered. The princess was finally starting to break, but Twilight still had some work to do.
Even the police, like Commissioner Star Cestus, hates the guy, especially because of this thing he's trying to pull. Take that! You can't be ignoring Proposition G3. This was made with nothing but greed in mind. You can't argue with me anymore. You know that having him do this was a bad idea.
Being thrown in an even tighter bind, 2 more of the psyche locks shatter. After getting her back to the wall, she began to escape the conversation.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a secret out of me with that Magadama spell.
What?
The green horn on your head is telling me you're using Star Swirl's lie detecting spell. The spell inspired by the traveling Tanuki, Magnus Temma, who had the talent of seeing through lies. Hence the name, the Magadama spell.
She knows! But that means you are hiding something! Tell me why such a troublesome pony is made to be so important!
I have my reasons and I'm standing by it. I'm proud of it and I know that it's not as bad as you're making it sound.
Unless you can prove to me that it was a bad idea, of course.
Oh, that's easy. This here proves that Blueblood not only has tarnished his reputation, but yours as well. Take that!
As proof that Celestia wasn't as beloved as she thought, Twilight showed Celestia's Star Cestus' punching bag.
A giant pillow of me?
No, this here is a punching bag I borrowed from a friend,
Twilight said, although she didn't mention that she stole it.
You don't seem to be that popular either. This thing has Princess Luna's seal of approval on it, so that means even she knows some ponies don't like you. And that's really saying something because she's been out of touch with Equestria.
Celestia was silent. She felt hurt that Twilight had shown her such a thing. Twilight was sad with what she did, but she knew it had to be done.
This whole time, I've been trying to convince you that my decision wasn't hurting any pony. Why should I have tried when I couldn't even convince myself that?
As Celestia finally acknowledged her mistake, the final psyche lock shattered, which caused the chains in darkness to retract and disappear. Secret. Unlock successful.
After a long battle of wits, Twilight had finally broken down Celestia. Neither of them feel good from it, but it had to be done.
So, why is Prince Blueblood so special?
As I said, he's a nephew of mine. He's part of a bloodline that's been going on for more than 1,000 years. In fact, he's the only family member of his generation. That said, he's one of the very few who's directly related to me and my sister.
So, I guess that sort of makes him like a favorite child, right?
More like the only child, Twilight. Since that branch of my family is so narrow, I have very little room on deciding who can and have more royal power in my land. On top of that, while I can simply choose who can and cannot be a prince or princess, family is still family, and mine happens to be quite small.
And since your family is so small, you don't want to take it for granted,
Twilight said, as she finally started to understand Celestia. Exactly, but I knew I needed some pony better to help me. He certainly made it easier for me to make ponies like you and Cadence princess. Neither of you have ever tried to abuse the power I entrusted you.
I guess she doesn't know that I used my power to talk to Fancy Pants.
I guess I have given too much power to him and not enough responsibility. I just never thought it would get this out of control.
Isn't there a rule book for something like that?
Sort of. With her magic, Celestia summoned a charter of some form and handed it over to Twilight. Twilight gave it a quick read-over, finding that it involved royalty.
What is this?
The Declaration of Equality. A treaty that Main Luna wrote a long time ago to make sure that while we are the rulers and leaders of Equestria, that only in a few specific instances are we to be treated above others, and that we are no mightier than any other in Equestria. Twilight had a question, but a part of her knew the answer to it already.
You mean, like if some pony tried to kill you?
Yes. I'm afraid that it doesn't make attempted regicide equal to simply attempted murder. Rarity's sentence will still come to pass if she is guilty.
Well, I wasn't expecting Celestia to just hand me evidence anyway. I think I'll still keep this, though. Maybe I can find a loophole or something.
After keeping the copy of the charter for herself, she turned and noticed that ponies had been entering the courtroom, getting ready to watch the trial. She even saw Discord was getting ready for his case.
Uh-oh, I better get down there. I'm glad we had this talk, Princess.
Me too, Twilight Sparkle. It's been hard for me, but it feels good admitting my own guilt. Still, I feel like I could have avoided this whole thing if I didn't spoil my nephew.
True, but at least you were trying to be good aunt. Heck, if Cadence and Shining Armor ever have a baby, I'd probably spoil it and drown the poor fool with books.
Finally saying something a little more carefree, Twilight and Celestia were able to share a laugh. Even better, they were able to leave on good terms. Good luck, Twilight. Prove to them that you're a princess for a good reason. I believe in you.
You can count on it. Watch closely as I get Rarity her acquittal.
With the trial about to start and having the answers she wanted, Twilight jumped off from Celestia's private room and flew down to the actual courtroom where Spike had waited for her to arrive. She didn't get anything new to help her case from Celestia, but it did leave a question that bothered her answered. To be continued.
Huh? Huh? What did I say? Huh? Yeah? 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 Yeah.
Legend of Zelda sounds, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't. Wait, were you thinking of something else?
Yeah, it's like, wait, are you trying to imitate Link?
Oh, yes, I am. I don't even know how that even happened. It's like, I swear, like, I tell you though, like, to everyone that have ADD, it's like, I don't know how our mind, like, stay focused sometimes. But hey, you know,
Yeah.
But to all y'all out there, you know, pull through, because, you know, that will make you awesome, just like me. And I bet y'all awesome. So don't let ADD slow you down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have it myself.
Oh, then yay, relatable.
It's so relatable.
Yeah. Oh my god, when you did that, it literally, like, brought my freaking, like, computer light back up.
Wait, what?
No, I mean, like, when you burped, literally, like, my screen just turned back on, so I was like, wow.
Oh god. Oh my god. Wow.
It's like, yeah, I know, right? It was like, what? I don't know. It just seemed like a weird coincidence. Actually, she has her own special room to watch the trial. Fuck, I don't know why I just went Christopher Walken there.
It kind of went Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it kind of did. And I meant, like, before I did the voice. Like, you know, why did he want Christopher Walken? Like, Twilight Sparkle. Like, your friend, Rarity, I think she have a shot of being innocent. Like, but, you know, Discord is being a real poopy head. We have to find a way to let people know that he's a complete sleepbag and prove her innocence. Actually, she has her own special room to watch the trial. Fucking fuck, I'm not trying to do Christopher Walken. Why does he keep sneaking? This is way worse than the fucking Kermit the Frog. I mean, now I'm doing Christopher Walken. I mean, he's a very talented and handsome-looking man, but it's just, man, I'm trying to stay as my New York detective and not trying to be Christopher Walken. Just fuck.
First Kermit in the last episode. Now in this episode, it just turned into Christopher Walken.
That's actually way shorter than how I did it, but yeah, that really thumbs up everything, yeah. And I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. This thing keeps slipping. Like, just fuck.
It's okay.
Okay.
Oh, great! I can... Spike is too excited since he can't English. Wow! Okay, let me try that again.